Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel and Grizzly Bear Farms. I wanted first to start off by saying a very special thank you to Eustace Farmer. Eustace Farmer posted a video, sort of his first episode for Old Stream map, and I had asked him if he had had any problems in being able to clean up after the animals, and specifically being able to reposition the spilt food, and this is in the sheep area, back into the sheep's feeding trough. And this is what I'm experiencing. So I've picked up spilt grass that was here on this concrete pathway, and it equals 26 liters, and I am unable to empty the contents of this grass into the sheep's feeding trough. I've tried this with both the skid steer, the Bobcat with the default bucket. I've tried it with this front loader attachment with the front bucket. All of these are in-game versions of these, not mods. I have also went as far as to deactivate. Still have 26 liters in the bucket. The bucket is not emptying. It's like as if it's magnetized grass. I removed all mods from my mod list, with the exception of obviously the map, and no work, no worky. So I am at a loss here, Mr. Farmer. Please help. Where specifically did you dump the grass? I've tried it on both sides of the feeding trough. I tried it on the front side as well as the back side. And let me just check one thing here really quick, just to make sure that they're not, well, I mean, I suppose, could it be considered that they're full on grass? They don't have enough room to place the grass in there. I don't know. So let's see. If this is technically grass that's in this bucket, I should be able to take it over to the cows, because the cows are essentially, those cows do not have any grass. As a matter of fact, what I can do is I'll go ahead and scoop up this grass here. I believe that's grass that I dumped out there yesterday, sort of in, I was a wee bit frustrated. Let me just say that much. I think my frustration was just sort of, I don't know. I think I was just thinking that, okay, here we go again. I've invested a few hours, I mean, it takes a few hours to learn how to drive a tractor with a front bucket sticking out there. Anyway, it takes a few hours to get the map set up the way that I like to have it set up. And let's see, did that go into the 114? Okay, so maybe, just maybe, that's my problem. So instead of calling it completely a bust as far as this map is concerned, and I really don't want to do that. I love this map. This map is beautiful. It's a fine specimen of a map. My only concerns are with the cleanliness, or the ability to get the map clean, or to get this area clean, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm sorry, I cannot see over the bucket, or I cannot see over the bucket when I'm in first person. I think that this needs to be smoothed out just a little bit. I think maybe this little this concrete walkway. I get that This is, there are maps that these, like for example, Lossberg. Lossberg is another really cool looking, beautiful map. But I need to be able to see my bucket. I'm sorry, folks. Lossberg is another beautiful map, but it is so it's so pristine. It's so clean. Um, Landy Kid sort of described it as almost clinical. Um, so I think if anyone from Blacksheep Modding is interested in my feedback, and I hope that you are, um, I would make a couple of suggestions here. The first being, um, don't allow the food, don't allow the spilled food to get outside of the. I tell you what, let me get out of this tractor. With regards to the dairy cows, don't allow the spilled food to get out past this yellow, these yellow lines. Or if it's gonna spill out here and like over here, this stuff, these these bells. I don't know if this door will open any further. It does not. These bells are in the way. The doorway is in the way. Um, And I completely, this stuff here is also in the way because there was spilled food over here. I would also suggest smoothing this out, making this a little bit easier to work with. Again, I realize that in the real world, we would have to put up with things such as uneven asphalt or concrete, whatever this material is. I also get that we would have to worry about obstacles, somebody leaving a wheelbarrow or some hay bales or something in the way. But likewise, in the real world, I could grab this broom. I mean, I could really grab this broom and I could really use this broom. In this game, this broom has no use to me. Um, so, there are things that we appreciate as being realistic, but then also we have to understand what the limitations are of the game itself. And it's those limitations that, when they present themselves the way that they sort of do here on this map, with a couple of those points that I pointed out, make it a little bit difficult. And quite honestly, it makes it a little bit frustrating. Um, at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a game, and it's supposed to be enjoyable, and it very much is. And this actually works very well, by the way. The pigs, I don't think the pigs need any work at all on that. Let's just make sure that I can dump the pig food over there. Let me just pull out here and swing around. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, okay. So the pigs work fine. I think possibly my problem with the sheep is that they are maxed out on grass, because I did fill them up to capacity probably about just a couple of game hours ago. So I will try that again later to see if that is my problem. But the dairy cow facility, help us out just a little bit with that, Mr. Blacksheep Modding, folks. I would certainly appreciate that, and I'm sure many others would as well. Okie doke. Now that we sort of got that out of the way, and I will just park that up here. I normally would have done the skid steer for that job, but um, I wanted to try the other bucket because I wasn't sure if it was a bucket issue or just what the case might be. So, we have a new addition to our farm. I just could not resist this fine, beautiful specimen of a tractor. And this is the Fendt Vario 1000. This thing is souped up. We've got the biggest engine that we could put in it, and it has IC control, which is really, really cool. And it worked. The best thing about it is the IC control works just fine with my head tracking software. I had heard that some ICs, some of the early IC tractors that came out, specifically another model of the Fendt tractor, and I also believe possibly a John Deere model, had an issue with IC, in the fact that whenever you used it with head tracking, that you were basically always looking at the back, and that could not be modified. So I'm pleased to say that I've got Track IR, and it's working, and so is IC, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful specimen of a tractor. So gonna hop out, not gonna use it right now. We are going to go and bale some hay and perhaps some grass as well, because we need to, so let me show you, I think where we left off in the previous episode. I had, well, let's see, we got silage put in here, so let me just show you what our inventory of silage is. So we have, well, I don't know how much is there. I think it was, well, I don't really remember now. I'm thinking it was, I'm thinking this represents just less than 100,000 liters, somewhere maybe in the 80, 89, 90 something thousand liter range. Obviously, we've collected and stacked our straw, and we have collected and stacked our hay. So we need to obviously make more hay, because it takes 2 bales of hay to each bale of straw as far as total mixed rations are concerned. And I also have some grass that I'm going to bale as well. And you might wonder, why are you baling grass? Well, it's a little easier to handle, I suppose, that way. I'm talking, of course, long term, storage wise, that is, because we can stack. Grass will remain grass in bales, as we tested with Goldcrest Valley a few episodes ago, and so we can give that to our sheep and to our cows in the form of bales. And so yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Are you guys ready? Well, let's go. I figured something out, and I don't know why I didn't recognize this from the get-go of playing this map, but this is, let's just leave our tractor there for a moment. We're going to get in trouble. Cars are going to honk at us, but I wanted to just come up here. I think this is where it was, or maybe not. There is a building with, remember a couple of episodes ago I was talking to the fact that, I knew that this was someplace in, in Europe, but I didn't necessarily know where. Well, it's in France, and one of the reasons why I recognized that was because there is a building with Renault on the side of it, and so obviously Renault is a French company. And these these guys, boy, they like to take their share of the road right out of the middle. So you have to really watch it on these bridges. And I should probably have my strobes on. So I will turn those on now, so we are compliant with highway rules and regs. But yeah, you see they are right out in the middle. So that, I don't know if that can be adjusted. I don't know if they have, I don't know if the map modder guys have any control over that. But yeah, the AI like to take their share out of the middle of the road. And it would be nice if they would maybe do a little bit better job of staying on their half of the road. Make things a little safer anyways. All right, so we're about, I like to try to keep these episodes to 30 minutes or less, but considering that I spent about 10 minutes messing about with the skid steer stuff, this episode may go just a little bit longer. We'll see. All right, let's turn on everything here. I did the best I could at raking this up. Unfortunately, some of the tight areas, the tight turning and stuff around a couple of these smaller grass fields just sort of make it almost impossible to get things laid out in a nice straight fashion. About the time you start going straight, you've got to turn, and so I just kind of gave up and tried to get it in there, get the rows as best as I could, and just figured that, well, it might take a little bit more work to get this stuff belled up, but at least we will get it belled up, because we obviously need to get TMR made for excuse me, for our cattle. They are seriously lacking in that department, and I could have bought silage bells, and I could have even bought grass bells, or could have bought more grass bells. I did buy some grass bells to initially give our sheep something to eat, but I have used all of that up, so we now have what we have, and we won't have any more until we can produce it ourselves like we're doing now. So shut that little heater off. Boy, I tell you what, it is it has turned absolute bone-chilling cold here in Denver in the last 48 hours. So I'll give you just a little reference point on, let's see, on Monday. So yesterday was Monday the 5th of December. It was about 55 degrees here in the Mile High City. A little bit of a strong wind, but still pretty much mild as far as temperature goes. And this morning it was in the 20s. We've got snow that's coming tonight, and tomorrow we're going to dip down into the single digits. And then on Thursday morning, the overnight low Wednesday into Thursday morning is expected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of minus 3 to minus 7. So yeah, cold. So I figured out another update between episodes. The last episode I talked about that issue with the F1 menu when I did HUD Hider, which, by the way, I think now is a good time to take a little pick. And the problem was exactly with HUD Hider. When I would do Alt 1 to hide all the HUDs, when I would reactivate the HUDs again with Alt 1, my F1 menu was messed up, as you could tell in the videos. I have scrapped HUD Hider because obviously it conflicts with something. It either conflicts with Courseplay, it conflicts with 1.3.1 of FS17, it conflicts with itself. I don't know, it conflicts with something, but I've got a much better solution, and that is with a mod from Mod Central. It's the SOB guys, and it's called the Game Extension Mod, and it does a whole lot of things. It does more than just hide the HUDs, but that is one feature that I'm obviously using here on this map, and it works brilliantly, and I'm very happy with it. And all you got to do to hide your HUDs is do Alt H, and your HUDs will be hidden and out of sight, out of way. Alright, so we'll go over here and bell this field as well. in sort of tight areas, but not going to get a whole lot of yield out of this, but hopefully we'll be able to cut that larger grass field again, the one that we cut to turn into silage. Hopefully we'll be able to cut that again and get more hay and potentially grass out of that field as well in the near future. But yeah, it's a little hard to get the it's not so hard to get the tedder in here, because basically the tedder just, it just basically turns the grass over and produces hay out of it. But getting the rake back here, I mean, I suppose I could use the smallest rake, but that's, I don't know, even though this field is still relatively small, that the smallest rake in the game is just, in my opinion, is just a bit too small. It's a tad bit too small. I'm used to using the super duper, the big rake, the one that was in 15. I don't see that in 17 as a default piece of equipment. I know that the SOB modding team were looking at trying to get a lot of that missing FS15 equipment into the game as mods, obviously. So that might be something to look forward to. Of course, that big rake would be obsolete here on this map, but would certainly come in handy, even like on Goldcrest Valley on Stevie's edit. I planted that really big field in grass after we harvested the corn off of it, and that really big rake in 15 would just come in super handy, and it would make that job so much easier. So yeah, I realize I'm just kind of driving all over the place, but that's really all you can do when you're somewhat limited to space like we are in this field. Of course, we could use a much smaller tractor and use a round baler, which is a little bit smaller than the square bales, but this map has a little bit of elevation to it. Obviously you can tell the fields. There's one field in particular that I am keen to buy and actually plant and harvest something off of it, because it's got pretty good elevation to it. It'll be interesting to see how the equipment handles that, but I think it'll probably do just fine. But obviously this map does have some elevation change to it, and I think that probably, although maybe not 100% guaranteed, but I think possibly we'll pick up the header, close the baler up, and go to the next field. I think possibly the round bells would just be more problem than what they're worth on this map, just because they would be wanting to roll away. Okay, let me just glance over at my timer. So we're about 25 minutes in. We will go down. This next field that we're going to go to is it's been raked, but it was not tethered, so it still remains grass. Oh, there's that Renault sign, Renault Agriculture. So obviously, well, I won't say obviously because you don't know. I'm a Formula One fan. I know that's kind of odd to hear an American say that they're an F1 fan. Maybe, maybe not, but I am, and have been ever since I met my wife about 15, 16 years ago. And I have supported from the beginning Ferrari. I think possibly just the dominance of Ferrari in those early days in like the 2001, 2002 time frame. Michael Schumacher obviously was a machine behind the wheel of an F1 car, but I remember the Renault F1 team, and they were they were super hot there with Fernando Alonso. They dominated for a couple of years there before they dissolved that team. And so yeah. All right, so we'll unfold and we will bell this grass. And again, I know I could bring the forage wagon up here and grab this stuff and store it loosely. But again, I think it'll just be a little bit easier to manage it in bell form. You can easily feed the bells to the livestock. You don't have to shred them. You basically can take them with your whatever piece of equipment of choice, either the skid steer or a tractor with bell forks or whatever, and just kind of take them and put them over the feeding trough, and it'll basically make the bell disappear, and your amount of grass or hay or whatever it is that you're feeding or straw will increase, and the bell will disappear. That is a little unfortunate. I will say that I think it was it the Bell Extension mod? Was that what it was called for Farming Sim 15? I only used it sort of towards the end. I had not heard about it until I started playing the Paradise Hills series and found out about it. I think it was probably Reefy 1952, possibly, that I heard him talk about it, and so I installed it. And we don't need our strobes here, but installed it, and of course that adds a little different level of gameplay, or of to your gameplay, because the bells will eventually deteriorate, and I think they even go so far as they would completely disappear after a period of time. At least I think that's what I witnessed once. At least I had some silage bells that I didn't touch for a little while, and they went away, so it could have been something else, but I think that was possibly the bell extension mod. But you could walk up to a bell and it would tell you what it was, and it would tell you how much moisture, I think it was moisture content or something. And then of course then when you took that bell over to the animal, like to the animal feeding trough, you could actually walk up to the bell and you could shred the bell, which was obviously a little bit more realistic than just having the bell disappear as it does in 17. But still, it's okay. I mean, sometimes we do things, or we choose to do things that might not be, and hopefully this isn't making you dizzy. Possibly we'll lower the camera angle, will help just a little bit. Sometimes we do things in the game for the sake of the game, or for the sake of simplification of gameplay or whatever, just for the simple fact that it's easier to do. Like, for example, I will be open and honest with you and tell you that I plan to bring the Joskin auto-loading trailer up here and pick the bells up with the auto-loading script. And in my gameplay or whatever, I will say that that's being done by a worker, that I have hired help here on the field who are going to be loading the bell trailer. So we don't have to do everything ourselves. And as I have said many times, how you decide to play the game is 100% up to you. All right, so it's good to see that our cleanliness numbers jumped up there. That's good to see. So I think we need to stop again. Oh, they're going to let us go. Thank you. After they honk at us. And these AI, none of them stop at the stop signs. They are just, they're all crazy drivers. Crazy, crazy drivers. I think, I want to jump out of cab here just a second. I was looking to see, I think, yeah, we're gonna cut that field. I'll probably do that off camera just because I know you guys have seen me. I know you guys have seen me cut grass more than once on my videos, and so I will try to, limit some of this repetition as much as possible. There's another Renault agriculture sign. Um, but it is all part of the routines and the daily tasks that need to be done on the farm, and so we got to do them because we need the grass or the hay or the straw or whatever. So look at that wood. I'm glad they got that delivered. That'll make the wife happy. She does like her fire. All right, those chickens, I tell you. I have yet to find the eggs. I have yet to find the eggs. To be honest, I haven't really looked for them, but I was watching Eustace Farmer's video this morning, and he mentioned it, and I went, well, now that you think about it, Eustace, I haven't found the eggs either. So that'll be something that I'll need to go out and search out and see if I can locate those eggs. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's only about 2 minutes over time. I think what I will do is I will end this video here and probably start another recording, and we'll grab the bell trailer and go down and grab those bells, bring them back here, and then stack them nice and neatly into our storage here. We'll probably put what I might do is I'll leave the hay over here, and then I think I will move maybe this stack of straw and put it here, and then put grass in here. That way I can keep them separated, and I'll sort of know the difference, even though the grass bells are a little bit darker in color. So anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. I am so glad that you're visiting my YouTube channel frequently, and please, if you like my videos, please like them. If you don't, and you can leave constructive criticism and not any sort of hate or rant or anything like that, I would welcome that. I'm doing the best that I can, and remember, I'm having fun, and I hope you're having fun on your virtual farm as well. And if you have not given this map a look, I hope that you would choose to do that, because it's very much worth doing. And just by the way, in episode number 1, I said, when I was harvesting the wheat over in field number 5, I think it was, I said that there was some news about Blacksheep Modding, and I couldn't really talk about it because at that time it was still being worked on. But Blacksheep Modding is now an official partner of PCSG. So they will be hosting their mods. They've added a few to date, but more will be coming. And they will be hosting their mods on PCSG servers. So there will not be any issues with malware or pop-up ads or uploaded.net or any of those kind of things. They're going to have their mods over there, as well as maintain their own individual website and their own individual presence, but they will be hosting their mods with PCSG, and we are so excited to have them a part of our community. So if you haven't yet, go check out PCSG. You'll find the link down below in the show notes. I appreciate you watching as always. Thank you and good night.